working out. What the hell? At least I'm working out. What the hell? I'm trying to think about with this damn movie because this is a silly movie. It's like the Legend of Johnny Lingo is so silly, and it's like, what is there? Are there deep thoughts to this movie? Probably not.
We're doing the review, The Legend of Johnny Lingo, where we dive deeper into some themes or extra points that we want to hit. And for real, bro, this is a kids movie about, resiliency, freaking the island communities, about love. And it's a really silly early 2000s corny, goofy, cheesy movie. It's fun to watch. Maybe not the biggest cinematic masterpiece. I think it has like a 13% on Rotten Tomatoes. Come on, guys. At least it's got a 6.1 on IMDb. But
what did the fans say? All right, because the critics would say like 20%. But did the fans say like 70?
I think the fans were a lot more into it than the critics. But definitely want to talk about some deeper thoughts that we may have into this movie and going through it together, figuring out exactly how those themes work.
Yeah. My guy Lance got the wrong background. This is the wrong show, bro.
Just tap it. Tap into the theme slide. Do some background.
Bro, we're on so many shows, we don't even know which one the fucking, you know what I mean? My Lance is on hella shows, bro. Y'all don't understand. He is on hella shows, man. He is working, bro. It's only what? Today's the 8th. It's only 8 days into the new year, bro. People don't understand how many shows Lance is doing right now, okay? So if there's a different background for a different show, please know my guy is working. All right? My guy's freaking working.
Hell yeah.
All I'm saying, look, man, this is the review for the Legend of Johnny Lingo, and I was, we were talking about it a little bit yesterday, bro. I was stuck, and we were talking about it in the pregame huddle. I was stuck. It is because it's a silly ass movie that it's like, you know what? There's really not much to think deeply about with this movie, but we were working out like what it is that I think would be the perfect, or I guess one of the themes of this movie. And I know you're probably going to talk about it too with yours. I know he'll probably connect well or connect better. Nice. But I was thinking it's about identity, right? Identity and how people identify you and how people, like, you're not bound by people's expectations of you. And you made a good comparison, with Trey Lance over there with the Cowboys, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know if that totally matches up because I think people just think of it. People thought of Tom as just a real piece of shit.
I can show you some Niner fans who think the same of Trey Lance.
Okay, hey, fair enough. Okay, see, okay, all right then. Damn, Trey Lance is fucking Tama, bro. Trey Lance is Tama for sure. This is crazy. But
that's actually some really good points that line up. Like, very high expectations when he arrived, some very disappointing first 3 years, traded away to different organization.
You know what? This really is the Legend of Johnny Lingo. God damn. Trey Lance is for sure Tama, bro, because that's exactly what it was. They gave the keys to the island, to Malio's island, straight to Tama from birth. You know what I'm saying?
From day one. As soon as they found him. As soon as they brought him into the building.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So now it's like, with those comes expectations of, like, leadership, prosperous village. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But then when you don't meet those expectations, right? You're tossed aside, and then now you're identified as something else. You're a freaking curse.
Exactly.
You're nothing. You know what I'm saying? And what have you? And then if you let it go long enough, you hold on to that, right? Like Tama held on to that when he washed ashore on Lingo's Island. You know what I'm saying? He probably had that mindset of like, you know what, man, don't nobody want me anyway. I ain't gonna be here long. Yeah. Chief Steward was treating him like shit as soon as he got on. You know what I'm saying? He's like, yo, he's a thief, Johnny. I don't know if we can trust this guy. Yeah, I don't like this kid. You know what I'm saying? So people was already judging this dude. But throughout the course of the movie, once Thomas starts becoming his own man, getting into his own, you know what I'm saying? Like growing into his own person. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's when you start to realize that, like, as you get older and you just find more confidence in yourself and who you are, like, you're not bound by others' expectations of you or what other people identify you as. You know what I'm saying? You can just go out and be whoever the fuck you want. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't let what other people expect from you, rule your life. You know what I mean? Like people, like in the movie, you learned that he actually comes from a long line of chiefs. You know what I'm saying? He was actually the rightful heir to Turtle Island, but he had lived such a different life away from that, where he was just like, he's not bound by that. He's not bound to that. You know, and you can see it on his face when he's like, dude, Johnny and Chief Stewart are leaving. I gotta stay here, dude. And then the grandma's just like, dude, you can go.
She's like,
it's cool.
You
bro.
know what? Actually, never mind. I don't think this is for you. You don't want to be the chief of this island.
You know what I'm saying? She made all that fuss showing his ass to the entire crowd.
And then she was like, family birthmark.
You know what I'm saying? And she was just like, hey, you know what? You're good, bro. You can go, dude. You're good.
Yeah, I see in your heart you're not
about yeah, this fool just got a cow. He's good.
You're not about that life. So
yeah. So
go ahead. And he returns with Johnny Lingo.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So I mean, there's something to be said about that, and it's in there, you know. Hopefully people understand what the hell I'm trying to say, because
identity,
and
expectations, people talking about you.
Yeah, you're just not bound by people's, thoughts and ideas and expectations they have of you. You're not bound to that. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like there are some situations where it might be okay to like use people's expectations to try to motivate you, whether that's like your maybe like even good ways, like your family believing in you, and like, oh, we have high expectations for you. Try to follow through with those. Those can have pressure, but also the negative too, when people are saying you should have done this, but you're a failure now because you didn't exceed or meet what we set out for you to do. If it's people, especially people that aren't related to you or part of your circle, then it can be like super negative and lead to situations like people bad mouthing Tama until they believed that a little kid was messing stuff up and was cursed by the cursed god from hell or something. That's that's crazy.
Yeah, bro.
How far that fell.
I think that's what I'm going for. Again, I don't want to make it overly complicated because this movie is friggin' silly. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's not a whole lot going on. You know, it's not Oscar worthy. But I think the low hanging fruit, as far as this movie, is also self-image. You know, it goes hand in hand with, I think, my point. Like, Mahana is treated by the entire village as like super ugly, so she feels like she's ugly even by her own father. You know what I'm saying? Father of the year, Pioi. Tama, Tom was just like, dude, I'm cursed, I'm unlucky, don't nobody want me, and it was through them that they made each other feel better about themselves. You know what I'm saying? Thomas says it too. It's like, bro, I'm going back for the only person who really cared about me. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And Tama was the only one who really treated Mahana as super beautiful, and it's definitely a story of positive self-image. So,
self-image too, and that environment and the way people can make you feel like you're less than just by telling you every day that, treating you different, yelling at you, your kindling's far too expensive, you stupid. Like, just
yo, fuck that lady.
Yo, rude. But just the way your self-image can affect your life. Like, if you believe you're worthless and like there's no point in going out and doing stuff, chasing your passions, then you're probably likely to just hang out and do whatever you're being told, not exactly reach like your potential of happiness that you can in your life. But it can also affect you positively if like Johnny Lingo is in your ear telling you you're a good sailor, you're a good worker, you're trustworthy, you're worthy, you're worth something. That can really boost your self-image too and make you feel like, I'm worthy of taking over this island and becoming the wealthiest trader in all of Polynesia or the Pacific.
Surround yourself with people who boost you up. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
That's it. That's really all it is. Like, Mahana was not surrounded by that. She only had Tama, and sometimes that's enough. Tama was lucky enough to stumble onto someone like Johnny Lingo and Chief Stewart, and a whole community of people that, actually gave a goddamn about him, So now, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, that's important. And like the other people's self-image too. Like Pioi's self-image probably been like called good for nothing his whole life, and he like passes that kind of attacks down on his daughter. Pua's self-image, the chief's son, is like of entitlement, and he acts that way his whole life. Like, this should be mine. I'm gonna bully everybody else. Johnny Lingo's self-image, he's like, he knows what he's been through, where he's come from. He knows what his mission is, to pass this on to somebody else and really give that name and title, keep it alive. So I think that's a great theme. And really relates to this movie, and I'm sure a bunch of people that are watching it and a bunch of people that are listening now.
All right, so what conclusion did you come up with, man? While we had a whole week to sit with this silly ass movie. What did you come up with?
I kept going back to the scene where the chief's wife, Pua's mom, gets mad that Chief Goro is giving off his birthright, her son's birthright on the first day a new baby shows up. Yeah, and you can tell she's upset, right? And I think rightfully so, right? Like, what the hell are you talking about, husband? You have a son right here. He's our son. I'm gonna be the queen regent when he becomes chief, Yeah. Maybe she had some of those things in her mind, in her plans.
That's right, Cersei.
Yeah. But when the chief gives the title away, for the next 3 years, she leads the campaign on just totally bad-mouthing this child to anyone who will listen.
A child, bro.
She's like, we have to question. She's in a circle around like a fire or something, or basket weaving circle, and just talking to the other wives and women of the village that are with her, and really, the baby's there with them. And she's like, we have to question which god brought this baby. And the ladies are like, but your husband, the chief, said he's from the god of blessings. Yeah. And immediately she's like, that idiot. She's like, do you really believe this child would wash ashore on a broken canoe from the god of blessings? This is obviously, check out his leg. He's also got a red mark on his leg. Lifts up his like little ear, and you can see on his side this birthmark. And she's like, that's from the fires of hell. That's from the trickster god. And you can see all these women just start to believe it, like, oh, damn.
Yeah.
And then we do get that time jump of 3 years where, people have just been talking so bad that the chief gives up the kid that he thought was a blessing and now has his birthright. So I wanted to talk about the powers of like rumors and freaking hot gossip and how it spreads and how it's so enticing, and everyone is like, oh, what's that? What's the latest news? Or and it, especially for a community or an island that's so like talk based. I don't know, what is that? Oral stories, oral traditions, how we pass down our culture and stories is really just through talk. So the communication form and its freaking virality and how fast it spreads is gossip. But I think that the gossip of, this child is from hell, we need to throw him away, that child is cursed, that's why your house burned down, the child is cursed, that's why your wife died when he was born. All these people think these things of this child that had nothing to do with ruining their lives, but it makes them feel like, oh, that's the reason.
Yeah, everybody wants a scapegoat. You know what I'm saying? And who better than to give it to the baby that just washed ashore? You know what I'm saying?
They can't talk or anything.
He literally can't talk and defend himself. But it's shit like that reminds me of church. Shout out to church. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Samoa. Where we're such a small community. Going on. Hey, just everybody just talking. Say, hey, did you hear about this? Did you hear about that? Like this, it just goes on and has gone on for so long in our community. And I feel like with that, when I seen that, I was just like, yeah, that sounds like one of our aunties.
I was like, ooh, representation.
About it. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it'd be your own aunties talking shit about their sons and shit. It's like, bro, like that's crazy. Yeah, man. Like hot goss has been a huge part of our community for a very long time, even before the advancement of technology. It was a small community. Yeah. Literally, all we did was talk and gather around.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
That's how we get our information, is from someone else that has the information and they're sharing it with us.
What do you think? What kind of rumors did you think they spread? Our ancestors spread about each other back then?
Bro, anything and everything. I'm saying that's how we got all the legends and stories and stuff. It was like I can't explain why the light keeps coming from the night sky during the rain. But I think it's like an angry person up there shooting lightning bolts.
Hey, did you guys hear about Malia Toa and his brother? They went and slaughtered all them fools over there. That's crazy, bro. And then what if it wasn't true? And it turned into a huge urban legend. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Did you hear about Malia Toa? Oh my God, it's Malia Toa, bro.
Yo,
you know?
How did you learn how to make fire, Dad? Actually, one of the Samoan superheroes went down to hell and grabbed this from the lair of a giant who kept it down there for himself. But he brought it up. Those old legendary stories, not just of like of our people, but of other indigenous cultures, and around the world, and the mythology. And I feel like that's just them trying to make sense of things that were happening around them that they probably didn't have the information to, or couldn't make sense of certain things, right? So they're like, we need to make a story to make this make sense for our human brains.
Hey, right. Hey, man, that's crazy that you say that, bro. I was at Barnes & Noble yesterday, and I was reading this book about mythology and stuff, and it had all the, like, the stories of mythology, but, like, laid out in, like, almost like a graphic novel. So, something like me with my little kid brain, I'm like, oh, pictures, yeah, hell yeah. And now I'm learning historical facts, but they said exactly that. A lot of this mythology started because it was us just trying to make sense of what's going on around us. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, bro, I don't know how else to explain lightning, bro. Besides, there has to be a man in the sky shooting this down on us for prosperous, you know what I'm saying?
He's mad because you didn't freaking give him the terror offering.
You know what I'm saying?
Jesus. I mean, Malia Toa.
Yeah. See, how crazy that's crazy. We kind of stumbled on this, how like how someone's hot goss just turned into a huge mythology building for your culture.
That the culture believes in, that the whole community accepts as fact. They're like, oh yeah, there's that cursed child over on Malia's Island. Anytime you leave him alone, something burns down, or something gets swept out, something gets lost. There's probably hella people taking advantage of that like misconception and are like, oh, I stole this meat, but I'm gonna blame it on the cursed child. And that just adds to the cursed child's freaking.
Bro, you're killing me right now. That's crazy. Hey.
But that was what we were doing. That's how
how else can we explain that the cow got sick? You know what I'm saying? He let that shit out. He's a curse. No, okay, that's crazy, bro. That's a really good point.
But also that goes into like what you were saying about expectations and self-image, because if all that environment around you is telling you that you're a cursed child and not worth anything, then you probably feel that way. Shout out to Tama though, because he was very resilient, tough, always fighting back, even after going through years and years of people telling him that he was nothing. So, I did look up like some psychological reasons for gossiping, just like sharing information, feeling like, you're bonding with somebody else over like a less known fact.
Right. That bond is very tenuous though.
Gossipers,
okay. If they're coming to you, if they're talking to people about, if they're talking to you about people, they're talking to people about you.
Ooh, okay. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Hot goss.
I feel like there are those if you have a really close relationship or a really good friend, you probably gossip back and forth to each other. That's tight. Right. But if someone's gossiping about other people and you just met them, or like you just joined a job and someone's like, actually, Bernadette, she's over here sleeping with Johnny, but Johnny is with the manager, all this other stuff, and this guy likes to do that. You're like, I don't even know your name yet.
Yeah, I was just like, I don't even know. Who the fuck are you?
Those ones are a little free with the information. You might be a little keep your info a little closer to the vest. But
we gotta what?
That's the way that people like make these connections and try to feel comfortable, try to vent sometimes.
We gotta start a rumor, right? We have to start a rumor. I don't know what, but we have to build it up for it to turn into some kind of mythology too. We have to figure that out. I don't know how hard. I think that'd be really hard to do because people could just fact check our bullshit. But if we could just figure out the best rumor to spread, you know what I'm saying, and have it, become a huge mythological legend.
We'd
be straight, bro.
When we just start hearing people talk about our rumor without us like prompting it or anything, just out in the wild. Did you hear about those two giants that were fighting behind the Piggly Wiggly?
Yeah.
Or I don't know, some crazy, like, just to hear that offhand.
Wiggly, bro. Well, if you want to get it down, you're going to get down at the Piggly Wiggly.
There's always space at the Piggly Wiggly.
There's always space at the Piggly Wiggly? Shut up, Lance. Always what?
There are 3 types of gossip: positive, neutral, and negative. I did not know that there
neutral gossip. What the hell is neutral gossip?
I guess it's like just a offhand kind of gossip. But positive gossip is people talking unsubstantiated that like mostly makes a connection, makes friends feel better about each other. Not necessarily positive words in the gossip, but that connection building stuff. But the negative gossip is the one that tears down. It's trying to wield it for power, trying to maneuver certain information, like the thriller stuff you see in like political TV shows or stuff. Everyone's like withholding information. When should we release this? Who should we tell? That's like the negative. So don't do negative gossip, guys. I'll just stay away from it.
Look, I'm gonna just say this though. That positive rumor shit, that shit is boring. Okay, we all live for the negative. We live for the negative shit because that shit is messy and hilarious. Okay, that shit is boring. Look, you can go over there and build your bonds. That's cool, man. But did you hear about Brenda over there? All right, did you hear about her? She's over here wilding. We got to build up the rumor about Brenda.
Brenda got a baby.
What she did. Yeah, Brenda got a baby.
We'll make it. Tap in. We're tap in. We're gonna make a rumor about a Brenda and see how far we can get it to go.
Yeah, because she already had a baby. What are we doing, Lance?
This is a rumor show. We're gonna start. We watched Johnny Lingo. I blame this on the Legend of Johnny Lingo.
Yeah, for real, bro. We started off really positive with the self-image, and now we want to talk shit about everybody. I want to talk shit about everybody now. Like, bruh. Oh shoot, man. I guess we figured it out. All right, have a better self-image about yourself, and if people want to talk shit about that self-image, fuck them. Surround yourself with good people. All right,
and then use those people to start a rumor about the assholes.
You know what I'm saying? Just keep the cycle going, the generational trauma going. Yo, shit.
This has been the Pacifica Movie Starter Kit Legend of Johnny Lingo review. Marcus. Oh, hello, Wireless. I am Lance Polanzono.
Lance is a professional, bro.
Roll the credits. We're out.
That was hilarious.